Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joel. I'm now a third semester nursing student at Imperial Valley College. And for today's video, it's gonna be, is it okay to be cruel to yourself? Now, I know the initial answer might be, well, no, and there's no argument about it. Like, you shouldn't be cruel to yourself. But, you know, hear me out. I read a book probably like 4 or 5 months ago, or probably like 8 months ago, called Can't Hurt Me. This book was a bestseller. It was one of the best books. It was very viral. I don't know, like 2019, 2018, because of the message. A lot of the messages that the author would say. And there was this line specifically, and I'm gonna put it right here. I'm even gonna put the page number from my Kindle book. So it's page 68. I hope you guys can now see it. And I'm just gonna say what it's in highlighted. So it says, there is no more time to waste. Hours and days evaporate like creeks in the desert. That's why it's okay to be cruel to yourself as long as you realize you're doing it to become better. So when I read that, I highlighted it because I was like, this could be debatable. And I knew I was gonna make a video about it one day. So I'm gonna try and answer this question with 4 different questions and go over those. So I'm gonna put the questions right here. Number 1 is gonna be, have I done it to myself? When is it useful? How can we be careful to not overextend it? And is it worth it? Now, I'm gonna go one by one. So now let's go with the first one. Have I done it to myself before? Yes, absolutely a lot. In first semester, yes. Because in first semester, like, you feel you're lagging a lot because you procrastinate a lot. Maybe right now, maybe you might be 3rd semester, 4th semester, 3rd year, 4th year, and you still procrastinate. And I still do, even to this day, actually. So instead of studying, I'm recording this YouTube video. So, you know, I'm still working on it. However, before, it was more of a big problem because I really couldn't concentrate a lot. So I would be really hard on myself. I would like not go out. I would not eat like specific meals that I loved because it's like, you don't deserve it. Like, you don't deserve any of this. If I wanted to like go out with my friends to a friend's house or something, like my answer would be no, because you didn't do anything. And I hope like with this type of treatment, you at least study. And the thing that it did to me, like, it just made me feel bad of myself overall. And I did study, yes, but it felt like kind of like when a kid was punished, or yeah, when it's scolded, pretty much. It's like, oh well, okay. So I did that a lot. I would be really mad at myself overall. I would be like in a grumpy mood throughout the day because it's like, damn, it's barely, I don't know, like 3 p.m. and I haven't done anything, and I woke up like at 9 or 10. It's like, why? Like, why didn't I just study 2 hours? And I would just be like beating down on myself, like, why? So I was being like really toxic to myself back then. And I feel that it was not helpful for me because I would always say that I'm busy, but in reality, I wouldn't be doing much. I would just procrastinate. And then in my mind, it would be like, I haven't studied, then I would be hard on myself, and I will still not be studying, and then I will study, but kind of like in a grumpy mood, and then I would like finally go out or something, but like after a lot of hours of literally just wasted time. So yes, I have done it, and I feel you guys have done it too, but maybe you guys are a little bit better on it, to the sense like you just ignore it. Like, you tend to maybe just watch more Netflix, like dig yourself deeper in a sense to whatever you're doing, in order for you to kind of like, you know, just avoid the distractions, avoid your conscience, and just be like, no, I'm just living my moment, whatever. I'll deal with it when I deal with it. So yeah, I have done it to myself, and it's not good. Honestly, it's not good, but there are ways that I could have done it better in order for it to be a little less painful. And I'm gonna go over it a little bit later on this video. So when is it useful? So when is this mentality useful of like, you know, being cruel to yourself? In reality, it could just be to like put yourself straight. If you're like really a person who's like deviating from its path, maybe, I don't know, you're hanging out with the wrong people, wrong friends, you're doing like the wrong things overall, and you know, you need something to put you back to your line, then maybe you bring close to yourself and be like, dude, like, do you really want this? Like, for us, like, if we continue on with this, our life is gonna, you know, it's gonna go to a point that there might be no return. There was this line from, I don't know who this guy is, but it's kind of like an old man, and I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna try and put it here. I hope I don't get copyrighted, or else I'm gonna have to edit it out. But okay, so I'm gonna put it right here.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. that's one of your top
It is.
3 pieces.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You wanna know why you're all fucked up? Just look at the fucking bums you hang around with.
So just by hearing that, when I heard that, it was like a while back, and I was like, dang, like it didn't really hit me. I would never hang out with friends that were like, you know, really like bad influencers or not a good example per se. But I can see like other friends that I have, or comrades, I guess, because they're really not my friends, that they do hang out with like people who are like no good at all, and they're going towards that direction as well. So it's like, you know, so that is a time where you can be like really hard on yourself in order for you to kind of like wake up in a sense and be like, no, like I need to start doing something now, because if I don't do something, then who's gonna do it for me? Like no one's gonna do it. So maybe when it's like an emergency, like it's like the last thing you need to do, like in order for you to wake up to something, that's when I would feel it would be useful. And regarding nursing, like the nursing life, this YouTube channel is heading towards more like nursing. I would say whenever like maybe you're failing and you already failed like 2 exams in a row, you know that your studying techniques are trash and you haven't really done anything to modify them. So you're kind of like in a risky zone right now. So it's kind of like you need to like slap yourself out of it and be like, okay, like we need to actually do something, because if we continue like this, we're literally gonna like fail the semester. So again, like I said, it has to be like kind of like the red button, you know, when it's like an emergency. So being cruel to yourself, it has to be like for a really good cause. The third one, how can we be careful to not overextend it? So you need to treat yourself like you're your own best friend in a sense. Okay, so you wouldn't be that hard on your best friend. Like you would be hard with them when they really need to get something across, when you really wanted to see something, but you're not going to be like pinning them every single second of every single hour of the day. You're probably going to do it once or twice and that's it. You know, you're just going to let it go. So that's how you need to be. Like you cannot really be drilling to yourself every single moment like I did back then. Like you really need to just say like once or twice, maybe in a spasm of 4 or 5 hours, maybe, I don't know. But don't try and overextend it more than twice, because then you're really putting yourself down to the point that you're really not going to believe in yourself anymore, because it's like, you know, like you're talking to yourself down. And it's one thing for people to tell you stuff because it's like, whatever. But when you are saying it to yourself, that's when it really hurts, because you have to live with yourself 24 hours a day, every single day, every single second. So it really hurts whenever you're like whenever you're saying something to yourself constantly that it's negative. So don't overextend it, because then it's gonna be a double-edged sword pretty much. Now, is it worth it? For me, it was worth it, because there's some people that I know that if you really try to, I don't want to say bully them, but if you try to be cruel momentarily for them to see something, they're really gonna crumble. Like there's some people who have like really light skin that you really can't tell them anything at all. Like you can do even like constructive criticism. Like you can't do any of that. So if you're like one of those people, then obviously like don't, like it's not gonna be helpful. And if your friend is like that, don't try it. Like you're just gonna destroy them. But if you are a person like, you know, you can take on the weight, you can take out the criticism, you can, you know, you really are open-minded and you really want to be better than the you of yesterday, or at least better than the you of last week or last month, then this is going to be something that can definitely help you. But again, like you have to do it in the times where like everything else has failed, when you feel like you're really like deviating from your actual goal. Or I guess if I can say it in a different way, like whenever you are trying to achieve something, but then you're like, nah, I don't want to do it, and then you start to go and go and go and go. So that's the time where you're like, okay, like snap out of it. Like, you know, you need to tell yourself, like, you know, you are all of those mean things in order for you to kind of like, you know, come back to us. And then you're probably gonna feel bad because you're saying the facts. You know, you're saying the facts about yourself, and the facts that you tend to not see, or you kind of like, you know, you just close your eyes in order for you not to see them. But sometimes it's important for you to know how much time you're wasting, how much you're being like a waste man, pretty much. In order for you to kind of like wake up out of it and be like, okay, yeah, like I do need to get my priorities straight and everything, have a plan and everything. So that is a time when it's actually worth it, because maybe you can wake up, you know, from from your procrastination world, and it's already too late. You know, the day of the exam is in 2 weeks, and then when you kind of wake up from your zone, you're like 2 days before the exam, and it's like, holy damn, like where was I? And the time's gonna go by really fast. Every single day in nursing school goes on really fast. And right now that I'm in pediatrics, our professor told us like, oh yeah, like these 6 weeks are gonna go flying. And right now we're like almost halfway, and yeah, like it's literally going like flying. And we have like exams and everything and clinicals and stuff. So I do this more, I have done this more in third semester because we have more exams, kind of like every single week we have an exam, and I really can't afford, you know, losing my focus. So I really need to like put myself straight, or be cruel to myself maybe once a day, and that's pretty much it. But when I'm cruel to myself, it's because like, you know, I haven't done anything, like not even like 2 hours of studying. You know, it's like kind of like I only did an hour, and I'll tend to like, you know, procrastinate, take a 20-minute break instead of 10 minutes, and it's like, no, like we can't do that. We did it in first semester, and we had a really, really rough time. And I have videos. They were like probably one of my first videos that I did, like I wish I would have known this, or I would tell this to my first semester self, you know, to have like a better outcome. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Overall, yes, it's really beneficial, and again, like it says, like as long as it's for you to become a better person, better student, then it's worth it. For me, I do, from personal experience, I guess, because I do have like really close friends of mine that go to the gym and they really take it seriously. They really bully themselves, or they are cruel to themselves in order to get bigger. So that's their motivation, I guess, like putting themselves down. Like not really because of health, you know, better health or anything like that. It's more because like they want to have the best physique, at least to show off in pictures or whatever, to improve their self-esteem and stuff like that. And whenever they lag in their diet or in their workouts, like they just remember how they were back then, and like really, really skinny, not really a lot of progress, and be like, you want to go back to that thing, you know, with your low self-esteem and stuff like that. So they kind of like go with that angle. So they kind of like traumatize in a way, but you know, it works. It really works out for them, and they work out like, you know, every single day they work out with their full energy and full power, because they don't want to go back. You know, they're really cruel to themselves to the point that it, like they just go on forward like if they were soldiers, pretty much. You know, they're all traumatized and just doing the task. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much what I had to say about that quote, and I hope this helped you guys to see it in a different angle, because when I first saw this, I was like, well, if I ask this to a friend or something, they're probably gonna say like, nah, like it's not good for you to be cruel to yourself, period. But whenever you really try and dig into the depths of why it can be beneficial, why would you do it, then I guess it could be like, well, yeah. But again, it would be kind of like the red button, you know. It's not the first thing you would do. It's kind of gonna be like the last thing you would do in order for you to set up, like put you straight again to the task or to your goals that you have in mind. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna conclude the end of this video. You guys still here until the end of this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys into the next video. Bye bye.